Those against? No, so carried. We'll now call Councillor Honour and make sure he's on the line. Good morning, Councillor Wayne Honour. We're in the council meeting. We've voted to obviously for you to attend via teleconference, and we're just with the lines obviously clear. You can hear us loud and clear.
Certainly can. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Wayne. And you're in a secure environment?
I certainly am.
Will do. All right, we'll continue on with our meeting. So there is nil apologies from anyone else attending the meeting. So there's no need to accept any apologies. The acknowledgements, first of all, and Council certainly acknowledges, as well does the whole of the community, the traditional custodians of the land that we meet today, both the elders past, present and emerging. We also acknowledge those Australians who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service for this country, as well as acknowledging their family and friends who support them as well. The first item of business is the confirmation of the minutes. So I now move that the minutes of the ordinary meeting of Council held on the 15th of December 2020 be taken as read and confirmed. Can I have a seconder, please? The second is Councillor Haberman. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you, Councillor. That's it. Unanimously moved. I now invite councillors to declare any conflict of interest in any items to be discussed at the meeting here today. There is none come forward through the new modern process to the CEO, but from the floor, is anyone in relation to any items? No? Councillor Honour?
No, I don't have any.
That's good. So there is no there. Next item of business is item D1. I call Councillor Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Council allows the Mayor to appoint a councillor.
Sorry, Councillor, I'll just. Sorry, you're moving motion.
The recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor. Yeah, sorry.
Yep. The Council allows the Mayor to appoint a council advisor in accordance with Section 197A of the Local Government Act 2009 and the Local Government Regulation 2012 in brackets Part 2A.
Thank you, Councillor. Can I have a seconder, please? Is Councillor Bartel. Councillor Cooper, you wish to speak further in relation to the matter?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The final local government reforms commenced on October 2012, 2020, on the 12th of October 2020. The changes included the establishment of the role of council advisor. Council advisors are appointed to assist councillors to undertake their role under the Local Government Act 2009 in brackets LGA. The LGA outlined the rules about council advisors covered in Part 5 and Part 2A in brackets Section 197A and 197D.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. Does any other councillor wish to raise any queries or speak against the motion? Yeah, is Councillor Barnes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, councillors.
Morning, Councillor Barnes.
Mr. Mayor, I'll have to speak against the motion, having given this considerable amount of thought. Mr. Mayor, at this particular point in time, as we're coming through the pandemic, I don't believe it's the right time to go creating new positions, and particularly when I guess you could say that potentially we have 900 members of staff that can provide us with mayor, plus the executive leadership team. I'm just wondering what sort of example we're putting out there in the community. So I'd have to ask councillors to show some restraint and to vote against the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Barnes. Any other queries or questions? Just before moving on there is, I thank Councillor Barnes. I think in relation to just alleviating some of your concerns there through me as the chair, is obviously he actually creates a greater deal of openness and transparency. And in these days of what's occurred in local government over a number of years, anything we can do is only a benefit for the community and the regulatory authorities. Councillor Cooper.
Yeah, I have a question more to the CEO, Mr Mayor. The report says that there are no financial implications. Can you explain that, please?
Through you, Mr Mayor,
Thanks, Mr.
we're
CEO.
about to have a restructure in the Executive Services unit. We've got 2 current vacancies, one as a result of a resignation. The financial services team have done some modelling, and with the proposed restructure and neither of those positions being filled externally, the appointment of the advisor can actually be done on a cost-neutral basis. In fact, we might end up with a small saving. So that's why that comment is in the report, that there are no financial implications. Thanks.
Councillor Trevor.
Thank you very much, Mr Mayor. Look, I'd like to speak in support of the motion. When the changes happened in the Local Government Act on the 12th of October, there was a range of changes right across the board, looking at how we operate as councils, how the organisation operates, and these changes were made to improve local government. Now, a lot of people might not understand in the broader community just how big a job the Mayor has on their plate. Not only from the ceremonial point of view, where they attend functions and represent the community and council as a whole, but in the day-to-day workload in the Mayor's office, in seeing people, organisations, looking to develop policy. It's a big job. Now, the state government wouldn't have made that change without it recognising right across local government land that there was a need. Now, some of the councils have been categorised, and some of the bigger councils have been offered up to 4 or 5 advisors to assist their mayors. Why would we tie our mayors one hand behind their back and say, we don't want to get the best job done for our community? We don't want to have the best policies. We don't want to have the best representation. It's available. I believe we should make that resource available to the Mayor so his time is better served for our community as a whole. Now, Councillor Barnes spoke about now's not the right time. I think his very words make sure this is the right time. When there's a pandemic in place, the workload in the Mayor's office goes up, not down. So what we need to do as a council is support our Mayor so that we can get the best job done in these difficult times for our community as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, councillors. Councillor Cooper, any right to... Oh, sorry. Councillor Mitchell, sorry. Councillor Mitchell, sorry, mate.
Thank you very much, Mr Mayor.
Yep.
I too would like to speak, but in support of the appointment as well. I wasn't going to, but as others have spoken, I would like to say to the community that in this case I have done my due diligence and researched the need for this appointment, and I've been back through the bill that got put to Parliament, the public hearing to the Economics and Governance Committee, the transcripts, the speakers who attended those public hearings being the likes of Alan McSparren, the chairman of the Crime and Corruption Commission, Greg Hallam, the CEO of the Local Government Association of Queensland, notable people. They've considered, and the government has considered, that there is a need for this position, and it's already happening. This legitimises it. It puts it into full transparency. A code of conduct for this appointee is there. A role description.
Order, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah,
Is the council speaking for the motion?
that's correct.
Because Councillor Trevor spoke for the motion just prior, so...
I'll give every council the opportunity to speak in relation to the motion.
Oh, you're talking about the
It's not the way
alternate,
it
is it?
Mr. Mayor, it's 1 for, 1 against, it's
Yeah. We've clarified this before, and Sorry to you, Mr. CEO.
That has been, I guess, a tradition, but under the standing orders, there's no requirement to do it in order.
That's correct, yeah. So over to you, Councillor Mitchell.
Sorry for that
to
interruption.
finalise. No, that's right.
And I just want the community to know that I have researched this. I haven't just taken it on board from advice from only one source.
Yep.
And that we have assurances that this is going to be a cost-neutral position to council, and that it's only for the one term, that we're not committing as a council this term to future terms of council to have the appointment carry over for years and years and years and years. So if we find that this isn't working for us or future councils, they can not make a future appointment. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Councillor Mitchell. I'll just, any other councillors wish to speak in relation to the matter?
Just a question, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Honour, yep.
Mr. Mayor, in regard to your work requirements and your performance on behalf of council, and I note that in the past you've been extremely helpful in securing a number of large grants, and I know at the beginning of the council, particularly in regard to the sewage system at Riviana, we got large help there. Is this going to enable you to represent us better at a higher level from council and negotiate more outcomes in relation to funding streams that come into council?
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Honour. I'll just get the CEO to clarify a little bit about the actual particular. But actually, yes, it will, Councillor Honour. Yeah, because any way that it can free, it's not just a matter of freeing up. When you read the Act, it's about the technicality changes in relation to the new legislation that is put forward, and the oversight and transparency role. Certainly, I'll always maintain as a 110% in relation to chasing funding grant, as does the whole team here at council. Yep. Any other questions at all from the floor?
Question of clarification.
For clarification, yeah.
So we've heard the term cost neutral being mentioned, but the question to the CEOs, if we do not create this new position, wouldn't that then make it a saving and for us to actually help write down the predicted deficit we're going to have?
Through you, Mr. CEO.
In theory, yes, Councillor Barnes, but then I might also look at the restructuring through different eyes if this position's not created, because the two are clearly interlinked.
Yeah. Thanks. Councillor Cooper, wish to sum up? Yeah. Okay, so I'll now put the matter to the vote. Is all those in favour?
Aye.
Those against? So noted, Councillor Barnes. Thank you, everybody. Motion's carried. Next item of business is from the Strategic Projects and Economic Development area. This item E1 is a proposed resignation from membership of the Wide Bay Regional Organisations of Council Incorporated. So I now move that the Chief Executive Officer write to the Executive of the Wide Bay Burnett Region Organisation of Councils Incorporated, indicating Council will resign from its membership. Can I have a seconder, please? As a seconder is Councillor Trevor. Just by way of detail, is Wide Bay Burnett Region of Councils, otherwise known as WEBROC, was established in 1999 when the region had 23 smaller councils, and when regional issues were more common, less complex, and community expectations of councils were lower. At this time, the region also had fewer regional advocacy bodies and structures capable of achieving the expectation of regional outcomes throughout the whole of the community. I just want to also identify that this decision follows a detailed review by Council regarding its involvement in the actual WEBROC Incorporated. Is any other councillors wish to speak in relation to the matter? Councillor Barnes? Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, my understanding during my term on councils has been that the state and the feds have encouraged local governments to work on a more regional basis rather than with individual councils. Indeed, we have an important role to play in advocating for the Wide Bay Burnett region on issues such as transport, communications, health and water security. The region's voice should be heard more loudly in Brisbane and Canberra. Our member councils should work together to make sure that we get our fair share of investing from other levels of government, particularly as we've been identified as one of the most disadvantaged regions in Australia, and we need to address that. Mr. Mayor, the last part of my address was words that you used in a media release. They were yours, Mr. Mayor, as recently as June last year, just saying how valuable the membership of WebRock is. I therefore can't support the motion. I ask councillors to consider what we're doing and how our reputation is going to be seen by the other member councils of WebRock.
Thank you, Councillor Barnes. Any other councillors, any queries, questions? No. Just before going to the matter of the vote, as just previously stated by the councillor in the previous motion, this actually will be a saving of many thousands of dollars to the community by this decision. We have an antiquated process, and whilst I don't choose to get words thrown back at me from June last year, but the councillor well knows, as does every other councillor, that there has been other significant meetings with WebRock and presentations here to council, and particularly that a review has been put through, which I did myself as chair, to look at the actual operations of WebRock. And from that, those decisions, the decisions then were brought back to council at consultation days to then make our opinions of the worthivity of the WebRock going forward. I'll now put the matter to the vote. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thanks, Councillor Honour. Those against? So noted. Councillor Barnes. The motion is so moved. The next item of business is item E2. It's in relation to strategic purchases of lots. I'll now go to Councillor Cooper. Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move that the Chief Executive Officer be authorised to enter into a contract of the sale of the sale for the purchase of lot 413 and 414 CPG 2311.
Can I have a seconder, please? Yep, Councillor McPhee will do. Thank you, Councillor McPhee. Councillor Honour, to speak in relation to the matter. Cooper, sorry, yep.
Yes, Anila, sorry, I've just gone to the wrong point there. It's gone too far. In 2018, Council was approached by the owners of Lot 413 and 414 on CPG 2311, located at 1 Deer Street in Gin, seeking to sell the property. The property consists of a freehold lot, Lot 414, and an older style low set located on it, commonly known as Ballantine Lodge at Lot 413 is a vacant land. Now this opportunity has come back to us at a fair price, and I would suggest that the council accept that offer.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. Any other councillors wish to speak against the motion or to talk in relation to the motion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Honour, I was hoping you'd jump in.
Mr. Mayor, I recognise the amount of time that's passed since this was first offered to council,
Yep.
and it's been a big consideration over a 2-year period. This has always been a very significant and central part of our town, the 2 blocks in question. They are strategic blocks that can be utilised for community benefit.
Thank you, Councillor Honoured. Any other council wish to raise any queries or speak against the motion? No. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Those against, nil. Motion is so carried. The next item is in relation to a submission for the new Bundaberg Hospital. So I now move that Council endorse the draft submission on a new Bundaberg Hospital and that the Chief Executive Officer be authorised to send the submission to the State Government. Can I have a seconder, please? The seconder is Councillor Haberman. Fellow councillors, a new Level 5 hospital is one and has been one of Bundaberg Regional Council's top advocacy priorities. Since 2018, Council has been advocating strongly for a new Level 5 hospital to be established in Bundaberg. This advocacy has included a mayoral petition in Queensland Parliament and various other submissions and efforts to advance the delivery of a much needed Level 5 hospital in Bundaberg. In July 2020, the state government announced a preferred site for a new hospital located on the edge of the Bundaberg urban area at Lot 23 of SP 212513. Submissions in relation to the preferred site are due to be provided to the state government by the 14th of February 2021. And in accordance with the workshop with councillors, Council has prepared a draft submission provided to the actual state government. Does any other council wish to raise any queries or speak against the motion? I'll now put the matter to the vote. All those in favour?
Aye.
Those against, nil. Motion is so moved. The next items from the Organisational Services section, item F1, I call Councillor Cooper.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. The financial summary as at January 4, 2020 be noted by the Council.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. Can I have a seconder, please? Seconder is Councillor Trevor. Councillor Cooper, speak further.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, in accordance with Section 204 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, a financial report must be presented to Council on a monthly basis. The attached financial report contains the financial summary and associated commentary as at the 4th of January 2021.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. Any other councillors wish to raise any queries or speak against the motion? No. All those in favour?
Aye.
Those against, no. So moved. Next item is F2, Councillor Cooper.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. It is recommended that 1, pursuant to Section 170 in brackets 3 of and Section 173 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, Council adopt the amended budget as tabled, and 2, Council endorse the following policies: Revenue Policy version 4 and Revenue Statement version 3.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. Can I have a seconder, please? Seconder is Councillor McPhee. Do any other councillors wish to speak in relation to the Councillor Cooper?
Yes, a bit of background to this one, Mr. Mayor. The half-yearly amended budget for 2020-21 financial year is complete and presented to the Council for adoption. Recurrent, the amendment has increased the budget operating deficit to 5.3 million, up slightly from the original budget. The long-term financial forecast has positive operational surplus ratio, with the target range based on the price and growth increases in the adopted long-term financial plan. Capital Works program has seen an increase in the capital expenditure this year of 12.3 million to 118.4 million. Capital revenue has increased by 7.3 to 37 million. The strategic land acquisition adjacent to the airport has been included in the revised budget. The acquisition has been majority funded from sales of non-community use land. The long-term capital investment plan has been amended to reflect the movement in works program and update estimates in project costs where applicable. There is this results in an overall increase of $47 million to the 10-year capital program.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. Any other councillors wish to make any comments in relation to that? No, I just note that that is one of our largest capital programs in the history of this council, albeit the 2013 floods. Great work by the organisation, and certainly the fundings that we're able to match to those projects from both the state and federal government are welcomed, so we can actually deliver more projects, but also more jobs for the community, which will only benefit us in the future as we continue to grow. Councillor Cooper, there's nothing else? No. I'll now put the matter to the vote. All those in favour?
Aye.
Those against? No. So moved. Next, G1, call Councillor Cooper.
Yes, the recommendation is that the 2020-21 operational plan, Quarter 2, be received and noted.
Thanks, Councillor Cooper. Can I have a seconder, please? The seconder is Councillor Learmont. Councillor Cooper, we should speak further in relation to the motion.
Mr Mayor, thank you. In accordance with Section 174 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, the Chief Executive Officer must present a written assessment to the council of the Council's progress towards implementing the annual operational plan at meetings held at a regular interval of not more than 3 months. A quarterly report provides a process for monitoring and assessing Council's progress in meeting its goals and of the corporate plan. The attached report highlights the achievements of Council over the past 3 months. Each manager has provided a comment in the report on their department and section's progress. A minor change was made to the Organisational Services Department to be in line with the Council's organisational structure as outlined, from integrated management systems and internal audits to audit services branch.
Thanks, Councillor Cooper. Any other councillors wish to raise any queries or speak against the motion? No, I'll now put the matter to the vote. All those in favour?
Aye.
Yep. Those against? No. So moved. Next item again is in that particular area is item G2.
Thank you again, Mr.
All Councillor Cooper, yeah.
Thank you. The recommendation is that the council apply the exception contained in section 236 in brackets 1 in brackets A in brackets I of the Local Government Act Regulation 2012 in brackets Queensland to the disposal of lot 11 on SP 205671, and 2, the Chief Executive Officer be authorised to enter into a contract of sale with the buyer and attend to all items required to finalise the sale of the property.
Thanks, Councillor Cooper. Can I have a seconder, please? Seconded, Councillor Haberman. Councillor Cooper, wish to speak further in relation to the motion?
Yes, I'll try to keep it brief. The council is freehold owner of a property located at 22 Wallam Street, Woodgate, on lot 11 of SP 205671. Council has previously resolved to sell the property as it is surplus to council's needs. The property was previously offered for sale by auction, at which the auction was not successful and the property was passed in. Council has received an offer to purchase the property from buyers through Woodgate Realty. The other to purchase the property presented by the buyer to the council is the market value. Council has previously made resolution at its ordinary meeting on the 30th of June 2020 regarding the sale of this property. Sale 22 William Street, Woodgate, lot 11 on SP 205671. However, the contract was validly terminated on the 4th of December 2020 by the buyer.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. Any other councillor wish to raise any queries or speak against the motion? No. All those in favour?
Aye.
Those against? No. So moved. Next item is G3. Councillor Cooper.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. That the council, 1, council apply the exception contained in section 236 in brackets 1 in brackets A in brackets I of the Local Government Regulation 2012 brackets Queensland to the disposal of lot 192 on RP 215569, and 2, the Chief Executive Officer be authorised to enter into a contract of sale with the buyer and attend to all items required to finalise the sale of the property.
Thanks, Councillor Cooper. Seconder is Councillor Barnes. Councillor Cooper, will speak further in relation to the matter.
Yes, the council is freehold owner of the property located at 41 Bundaberg Boulevard, Brenyan, on lot 192 on RP 215569 in brackets of property. Council has previously resolved to sell the property as it is surplus to council's need. The property was previously offered for sale by auction stroke tender, at which the auction stroke tender was not successful and the property was passed in. Council has received an offer to purchase the property from a buyer at A1 Realty Wide Bay Burnett. The offer to purchase the property presented by the buyer to the council is at market value.
Thanks, Councillor Cooper. Any other councillor wish to raise any queries or speak against the matter? No. All those in favour?
Aye.
No. Those against? No. So moved. Next item is item G4. Councillor Cooper.
There's a few of these sales, Mr Mayor.
Yep.
Recommendation that 1, the council apply the exception contained in section 236 in brackets 1 in brackets A in brackets I of the Local Government Regulation 2012 in brackets Queensland to the disposal of lots 68, 69 and 72 on SP 227071, and 2, the Chief Executive Officer be authorised to enter into contracts of sale with the buyers and attend to all items required to finalise the sale of the property.
Thanks, Councillor Cooper. A seconder, please. Second is Councillor McPhee. Councillor Cooper, do you speak further? Or
Can I just make a comment?
I'll just get Councillor Cooper to speak further. Yep.
Council is the freehold owner of lot 68, 69 and 72 on SP 227071 in stage 2 of Kinkuna Waters Estate at Woodgate. Council has previously resolved to sell the property as they are surplus to the council's need. The properties are previously offered for sale by tender, at which the tender were not successful and the property was passed in. Council has received offers to purchase the properties from individual buyers through Woodgate Realty. The offer to purchase the properties presents by the buyers to Council for market value.
Thanks, Councillor Cooper. Councillor Trevor. Yep.
I was just going to make the comment, Mr Mayor, that I believe there's been strong interest in stage 2 of Kinkuna Waters,
yep.
And I believe that there will be further sales contracts presented to Council in the very near future for a fair few of the remaining blocks.
So does any other councillors wish to make any queries or questions? No? Okay, I'll now put the matter to the vote. All those in favour?
Aye.
Those against? No. So moved. Item G5.
Yes, it's the recommendation that 1, Council apply the exception contained in section 236 in brackets 1 in brackets A in brackets I of the Local Government Regulation 2012 in brackets Queensland to the disposal of lots 14, 31 and 55 on SP 205671, and 2, the Chief Executive Officer be authorised to enter into contract of sale with the buyers and attend to all items required to finalise the sale of the properties.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. Can I have a seconder, please? Seconder is Councillor Mitchell. Councillor Cooper, do you wish to speak further?
Council is the freehold owner of lots 14, 31 and 55 on SP 205671 in stage 1 of Kinkuna Waters Estate at Woodgate. Council has previously resolved to sell the properties as they are surplus to Council's needs. The properties were previously offered for sale by auction, at which the auction was not successful and properties were passed in. Council has received offers to purchase the properties from individual buyers by a local real estate agent. The offer to purchase the properties presented by the buyers to Council are at market value.
Thanks, Councillor Cooper. Any other councillors wish to raise any queries? Speak against the motion? No. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Those against? No. So moved. Next item of business is item 01, and I call Councillor McPhee.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to move that Council apply the exception contained in section 2361B2 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 Queensland, and that 2, the Chief Executive Officer be authorised to enter into a 10-year lease with the Queensland Country Women's Association for part of Lot 11 on RP 29318.
Thanks, Councillor McPhee. Seconder?
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
Yeah, I've already got a councillor hands up here, Councillor Bartel. Sorry, Councillor Honour.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, but I do appreciate it. It was great to see so many councillors wanting to second it. So, seconded Councillor Bartel. Councillor McPhee, to speak further in relation to the motion.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just that this is a renewal of an existing lease. The CWA have been leasing this property for the past 20 years and they wish to enter into another 10-year lease. The rent will be at the community rate and the lessee will be responsible for all outgoings, with the lease being on council's standard lease terms.
Thanks, Councillor McPhee. Any other council wish to raise any queries or speak against the motion? No. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? No. So moved. The next item is item S1 in relation to a lease at the airport. Councillor Cooper.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. The recommendation that the term of the rent relief for the airport cafe operators be extended for a further 3 months until the 31st of March 2021 by reducing the rent charge by 50%.
Thanks, Councillor Cooper. Seconder is Councillor Haberman. Councillor Cooper, wish to speak any further in relation to the matter?
Yeah, I'll keep this one brief. The councils will be aware that we've been negotiating with the tenants of this operation over the period of the COVID situation. They've had earlier relief, and they are now seeking an extension. We've reduced it to 50%, which is in line with what we have operational process of what's been happening at the airport.
Yep.
It would appear that it would be unviable for them to operate without this assistance.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Cooper. Any other council wish to raise any queries or speaking against the motion? Does Councillor Barnes, your portfolio area is the airport per se, the matters involving a lease. Would you like to make any short comment or anything else? No.
That's pretty straightforward, Mr Mayor.
No, I'll just give you the opportunity. Thanks, Councillor Barnes. I'll now put the matter to the vote. All those in favour?
Aye.
Yeah. Those against? No. So moved. Well, thank you, everybody, for your attendance here today. Thank you to everyone for their participation through the Australia Day activities over yesterday and leading up to that. A big thank you to all the staff here who put a great deal of effort and time and a lot of their own hours into assisting with events and so forth. I'd like to also particularly thank Rotary Daybreak as well as all the other volunteer groups right around the region who came together as a community to do our Australia Day events. It was very exciting to see so many do events in a time where we still have a pandemic with COVID-19, and to see everybody cooperating in such a respectful way for the day, first of all, but a respectful way in relation to the health and safety of people across the whole of the region. So certainly 2021, whilst we continue to go from day to day, it certainly is challenging for everybody in the community. And I think the resilience of the Bundaberg regional communities, the people, is quite outstanding, and we look forward to a successful 2021. So that concludes the business of today's meeting. The next ordinary meeting is due to be held on the 23rd of February in Council Chambers here in Bundaberg. I now close the meeting at, what time you got, Wendy? Was it 10:40 a.m. and thank you for your attendance. Thank you, everybody, and thank you those online and on the gallery. Thanks, Councillor Honour. Will do.